Hello, welcome. Today we're talking about rogues. Now, I just randomly had this idea of going over what feats work with rogues, like what feats are viable, which feats are... Not all feats can work for any class, for the most part. And I thought, hey, maybe pointing out what some are better than others might help a new player out. I got a list of a few. I had one of my friends, Kiri, which we play together in D&D almost every time for the most part. And I have a list of a few that are good. We listed out 5 each. Some of ours we looked at were good. Some overlapped. Basically, we have a good number of them. But first I wanted to describe what rogues are about. Rogues are meant to be a skirmisher. They're meant to be go in and out. Which one of these feats, I will say, doesn't add to that as much as the others. But that's what they can do. They can also be very good skill users. Rogues tend to be known as the skill monkey. Bards are called skill monkeys, mainly just due to jack of all trades being really good. But rogues can also be good at skills. In fact, they could probably be better at skills, especially with constant expertise. For the most part. This list will not... No, it's not listing. Or it is listing, but there is no particular order. Pick whatever feats interest you the most. But now I also want to bring up sneak attack. I mean, I think we all know when sneak attack's applied. Insert that one video from XP to level 3. But there are some interesting things. I actually had posted a thing on Reddit asking, would a net apply? And it's weird. Apparently thrown weapons aren't exactly counted as ranged weapons. Or they are. A whole discussion was brought up about it. If you have more insight on that, let me know. But I had taken out the list of simply just thrown weapons. Some are still thrown, but are still finesse weapons, just like the dart. So here is our list of weapons that we can sneak attack with. The only reason why the dual-bladed scimitar is here is because, and this feat is also not included, but one of the feats makes this weapon into a finesse weapon for you. That's why I'm keeping it here. But yeah, looking at the list, there's a bunch of options. But there's like one chain line between most of them. For the most part. Other than like 3 weapons, you're dealing with piercing damage. A very narrow field. But still, piercing works. Piercing... I know there's that one rogue subclass, I'm not looking at you. But piercing can do a good bit of damage with sneak attack. It's just something that's interesting that, like, literally only like 3 options, if you're not including thrown weapons, work with sneak attack that are not piercing. And that's just fascinating. Now let's get this started. The first feat is alert. Rogues want to be first, if not as top of the initiative as possible. Adding +5 to the initiative, always handy. Not being able to be surprised while conscious is also really handy for the fact of, if you're surprised, you lose a turn. That's basically how it works, and we, as a rogue, don't want that to happen. We want to try to lane sneak attacks back to back to back as much as possible. And also, just having a little defense. A creature doesn't get advantage for not seeing you. Doesn't happen a lot, but it can be handy. So there's alert for you. Next one, we agreed on one of these two, but I lump them in the same category. We have skilled and skilled expert. I think skilled expert is slightly better though. You gain +1 to +1 to an ability score of your choice, and getting a proficiency as well as expertise in any skill. That is huge. That is actually really nice because of how Rogue works with especially level 11. Skilled is always handy. Like, if you need a feat, or not feat, if you need a skill that you want to be an expert at, like, you want to be the best, get expertise. Especially with, like, the lowest roll possible, especially later levels, with being able to have anything be a 10, at the very least, for most campaigns. That's just going to be massive, even if you have a +1 in that skill. Yeah, this is very versatile. You can do it to any of these. Now let's look at skill. Same thing. It just gives you a bunch more skills, which would apply to, at the minimum, being 10. So you can get more skills with the 1, but you also get a +1 to an ability score of your choice. So it's really up to personal preference. We had a little discussion about this next one, and I drop it lower in my head, but Piercer. Most of your damage is piercing damage. This helps with piercing damage, potentially. As well as just +1 to dexterity. I don't know if I need to stay here much, but really just that +1 and rerolling damage is nice. The critical damage is also fairly okay. Nothing extravagant, but it can still be very nice and handy. You know, just a pinch more extra damage. Nothing crazy. Next on my list, we have mobile. Like I was saying before, mobile, hit and run playstyle. This supports that 2 AT. If you're next to like the big bad demon guy and you want to get away, you have extra movement to do that. You actually don't worry about difficult terrain since you can use your cunning action to dash, so it doesn't cost you any extra movement. And simply being able to attempt to attack a creature then just run away, that could be nice. Trying to get out of the way of either a fireball potentially happening on you, or just being able to be very nimble. It's very hard to pin you down with this feat. This next one is one that Kiri had brought up, which I absolutely agree with. That is telepathic. Crap, which one of these has it? This one does. Next on the list we have telepathic. Increasing your intelligence, wisdom, or charisma by 1 is always nice for saving throws. I would probably use this on wisdom, because eventually you get wisdom proficiency as a rogue. And being able to just quietly talk to your team. Quietly talking to your team is very nice. Not to mention, you get Detect Thoughts. Detect Thoughts is a very nice information spell that you can get. I don't know if I need to go super much deeper into that. It's just really a very versatile spell to have. But for me, it's mainly just being able to talk to your team with no sound, which means you're not detected as much, but also you have better odds of surprising an enemy and getting sneak attack off. Next we have the Crossbow Expert feat. Crossbow Expert, honestly, just generally nice. No reloading required. You still need to have the ammo though, so keep that in mind. Uh, you don't have disadvantage on ranged attacks when creatures are within 5 feet, which is incredible because one hit at disadvantage, that just sucks for rogues. Rogues hate disadvantage. I would say the most of any class in the entire game, because their feature does not work when one hit of disadvantage is applied. And being able to use your one extra hand to make a bonus action attack with the hand crossbow is nice. It's just that. It's just nice. If you miss with the first attack, you can get another shot at the bonus action crossbow to try to get your sneak attack off as a bonus action. That's always nice. It literally weaponizes your bonus action. Although for rogues, my pinch of issue with it is the fact that it does ruin your cunning action. Or not ruin. Ruin's a wrong word. Basically, it gives you have so many options on the table for your bonus action. You can dash, you can disengage, you can hide. There's so many different options you can do. Like, do I attack with a bonus action, or do I attempt to hide to have advantage on my next attack as a bonus action? It's that little bit of conundrum. Still, the fee is really nice. Next, we have Fighting Initiate. Fighting Initiate is nice because you can just... A lot of these work with Rogue. Well, not all of them. No. There's two that are standouts, though. Dueling. A little stronger hit of damage. But the biggest one, Archery. Any range attack, just +2 to hit. This just improves your chances to, well, hit an enemy with a ranged attack. And the more times you end up hitting an enemy, oh boy, guess what? Sneak attack. Boom. It's just it's just really nice. It's one that Kiri brought up. I don't know if I would go out of my way to pick up Archery. That's sort of more of a harder call. But I see a lot of value in it. I still see a good chunk of value in it. This is the second to last one that we have listed. That's Eldritch Adept. This is another one that Kiri brought up that I asked him, how come he chose this? And after he told me, I understand, and it actually helps a lot. Being able to cast Silent Image just simply helps you with your stealth. In the vein of, and I'm just going to double check what he said, because I never thought about doing this, and frankly I might want to re-look into that. But yeah, simply being able to trick your enemies with Silent Image, stealing from the enemies, and stealth. It just helps you to stealth a good bit. Being able to put a distracting image in front. And it's at will. Silent Image is a first level spell, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. And it just helps. I did not think about Eldritch Adept. I really should have, because that's actually really nice. So, yeah, the final one. And this one I had a little bit of conversation with. Not that. Although, Eldritch Adept, specifically Misty Vision. The final one. Now, a lot of these are good. And I don't think this next one's the best, but I think it's a sleeper hit. Sentinel. This is meant to be more of a part of a melee rogue build. But simply put, improving your way to get reaction attacks. Because sneak attack apply, you can do multiple sneak attacks around, but you have to have it once happen on your turn, but also as a reaction, which is harder to come by because the best the rogues got are holding their action or an enemy walking away from them. And then you realize, oh wait, why am I holding my action to shoot someone with a bow or attack someone close range with a rapier when I could have just attacked them on my turn? This opens that up for you. And it helps either protect your ally or deal a big chunk of damage to a person that's right next to your ally. Because keep in mind, you can sneak attack when a creature is 5 feet away from you, as well as 5 feet away from another target. This specifically allows you to weaponize your reaction to attack when another ally is attacked. Not hit, just attacked. So an enemy could try to go for your cleric, you're standing next to that cleric, and right next to the enemy, you attack that target, and you apply a big chunk of damage, potentially killing them before they can apply multi-attack. In this thought process, I'm assuming that all enemies have multi-attack. I know that's not officially true, but a lot of enemies have multi-attack. And making sure enemies don't get away from you. Like being able to, if they try to disengage, you can be like, nope, get back here. And locking down an enemy for a turn is really, really nice. Like let's say you are a rogue, a decent level rogue to where you have evasion. A wizard wants to cast a fireball or a fireball on the big boss. And the boss is going to try to run away. Just run away. He will, as long as you hit, you will not allow him to leave that spot. He is vulnerable to that potential big hitting strike. And I think Sentinel's a sleeper hit for rogues. Like, it's just it's handy. It's a sleeper hit. Now that's all the ones that we have listed out, but there are a bunch of feats that you could do for your character if you have an interesting idea for interesting feat options for rogue that I did not discuss. I would love to hear it in the comments. And I would say those are just really good. Just really good feats for rogue. Well, this has been a episode of I don't know what I want to call this. Class feat guides. That just sounds awful. And I'll come up with a name post video. I hope you guys have enjoyed the content. And if you want to see a particular class for the next video, please comment it down below. I would love to hear what people are interested in knowing what feats are available. I will be including Blood Hunter because we have the option to pick that for us. And I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye bye.